Recently, I kind of realized I have a huge backlog of games I've never finished before, and I'm not going to finish every game on my list obviously, but there are a few I decided to get. The very first being Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. I've always been a huge Sonic fan, and as I was going back for Sonic Adventure, I realized that I really want to go for every PS3 Sonic game platinum. Then maybe the modern games. The only PS3 games I won't be doing are Sonic 1 and 2, as those games were delisted, so I can't buy them. And also Sonic Generations, as I've already platinumed the game before I was ever even making content. Anyways, before we get into the trophies, as of course I have played the game before, I've already gotten 8 of 12 trophies. I also wanted to do the DX DLC, so I threw that in there, which adds 3 more really hard trophies. I decided to also completely restart the game, so all the trophies that we won't see pop up, I would still end up having to go for to make the video even more interesting. The trophies I already got were the 7 story mode trophies and getting every emblem in the adventure field. Another reason I decided to restart was because of the first trophy I went for in this video, and that's completing every Chao race, which is very difficult. If you ignore this the whole game like I did 6 years ago, then it's a 15 to 20 hour grind of going back and forth through levels, so I figured it'd be much more fun going for this trophy while beating all 6 character stories. And lastly, this game's trophy list is very stressful as it is a 5 out of 10 difficulty and takes 6 playthroughs. However, this is wrong as you also have to beat every level 3 times, so it's really an 18 playthrough game. And actually no, it's 24 for the DLC, which you will see why later. It also takes 30 hours, and it took me 40 because of the DX DLC. With that all in mind, I started off with the Sonic story, and as I was playing, of course I went to go take care of some Chao in the Mystic Ruins. Here I discovered I had a bunch of gold Chao level 0, and I had no idea why. But as I kept playing through the story where I could go back to Station Square, I was curious if my Chao here would also be in the Station Square Chao Garden, where I had the craziest discovery. I need to use that elephant on my homeboy. Wow, I got a lot of guys. Yes sir, he's still in here. Wait, is that my gold guy? The fetch? Who is that guy? And why is his name in Japanese? The crap was that? Why was his name in Japan? What? I'm so confused right now. Dude, what is going on? Spencer? Who's Spencer? And why is he so cracked? Dude, where did all these guys come from? The fetch am I looking at? Alright, looks like we're working on this guy instead. He's already got tons of levels. And why is it a Sonic Chao too? Yeah, honestly, I don't know where these guys came from considering the fact that I've never worked on Chao in this game before. Also, one of them is literally Japanese. But it seems that some of you guys love Spencer and love him a little too much. This would be the start of a staple of my channel, so much that he's now a membership emoji. Anyways, he was actually pretty decent, so I decided to work on him rather than the other Chao I was leveling up at the beginning of the game. So I kept playing through the story, clapping up chaos, and somehow I was leveling up Spencer so much, he was practically on steroids, but for some reason he couldn't even beat the beginner races. I spent a ton of time on him, but by the time I made it to the end of the game where I clapped up Eggman, he still couldn't even beat the beginner races, so I just moved on to Tails' story, and leveled up Spencer along the way there. Tails' story is much shorter than Sonic's, as it only has 4 stages, and they're all shorter versions of Sonic levels. So I spent most of my time here working on Spencer, but I really didn't take me that long to finish Tails' story, as with him you pretty much just race Sonic in like a couple levels. Also, I know I'm not going in depth on the levels here, and that's because they were super easy, but I will have to talk about them later in this video where they get much more difficult. Because of how short Tails' levels were, I made it to Knuckles' story in pretty much no time. Before I went to Knuckles' story though, I kept replaying levels with Sonic to find pets to upgrade Spencer. After what felt like ages, Spencer actually managed to beat his first beginner race. Gotta get that stamina up, gotta get your food in your stomach or whatever you call it. Do this up until Spencer wins a race. Okay, we'll see. No! Bro is still sleeping. This is your life right here, man. Treat it like you mean it. Come on, Spencer. You're literally in last right now because you freaking keep sleeping. You got this.
This way.
Yeah! Look at that boost. That's what I'm talking about, Spencer. If another guy gets a boost and it changes my camera, I swear I'm going to get pissed. I don't care about them. Dude! Right as I mention it, too. Yeah! We did it! It was the food, guys. It was the food. It was the food. Because of how short Tails' levels were, I made it to Knuckles' story in pretty much no time. He also had very few levels though, so I didn't spend too much time on Spencer with him either. But Knuckles' levels were actually different where you fly around looking for pieces of the Master Emerald. But honestly, even though Tails' levels were not that different, this is still the best Sonic game. Fortunately, Spencer could only beat 1 out of 10 races still, and I wasn't really in the mood for Amy's story as she sucks. So I spent the next like 4 hours just grinding out the levels for Spencer, and my gosh, you have to level him up like crazy just to beat the beginner levels. But again, after like 4 hours or so, I managed to beat all the Chao races. Bro, he moved into it! Oh, you stupid bird! I hate birds. Sometimes. Oh my gosh, bro. This stupid bird! Fetch out of here, you crap. It's alright, it's alright. Power, I at least want to get it to 50, dude. Like... Guys, this might be the end. Why should have so delayed? I don't know. Just one more time. One more so we can get that stamina level up. Can't wait for Sonic X Shadow Generation 2 up to getting things out. I will. Crap. Dude, get it in front of him. Yeah! You're in the lead for this swimming part. Let's...
Come on!
Bro, fetch you. I don't want to look at him. He sucks. He's not as good as my guy. I'm definitely getting it from Comet because I'm based there. Alright, dude, you got this. Don't sleep, don't sleep, don't sleep. And he's sleeping. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. You weren't behind anybody else. You got this. Get up, get up. Dude, get up! Yes! That's what I'm talking about. Come on, you got this. Don't trip up. Don't trip up. This is literally your win right here. And also my trophy. I don't want you to fail. So, this is our trophy here. Come on. Yes! We did it! Oh my gosh. That's the trophy right there. My word. That took so long to finish this guy, dude. My gosh. Hours and hours of my life right there. To some dumb Chao. Jeez. Chao's best friend. Sorry about the music in some of those clips. It was really loud for some odd reason. But either way, the next trophy I went for was getting all the emblems in the sub-games. But sadly, before I could do so, I needed to beat the game with Amy, and honestly, her levels aren't bad, it's just she's painfully slow. It feels like I'm playing as a snail on salt with her, and well, it's Amy. She's just bad. Thankfully, she only has 3 stages, so it only takes about 25 to 30 minutes to beat her whole story. When I was done, I worked on the subgame emblems, and there's only about 10 taking place in 4 games. The first thing I did was with Amy's hammer game thing. This wasn't hard at all you need to do was keep beating your old high score, so I just played as poorly as possible, but only getting ever so slightly better each time to do it easily. The last 2 levels were where it got pretty challenging, and that's to get 8,000 points in the A carrier level, and 20,000 in the second one. This was pretty hard because you had to play pretty much perfectly and make little to no mistakes. These levels took a hot minute, but since they're short and the layout's the same each time, each attempt I would memorize the spot of each enemy and manage to kill them, so once I memorized the level, it really only took about an hour to get them both done and obviously get the trophy. Also, I'm just gonna give you a volume warning. As I said, this part wasn't super intense, just a tad challenging, but the thing is, I was trying to get all the trophies done quickly, so I did 2 back-to-back all-nighters, so the slightest failure would really tick me off. Show it! Let's get 8,000, or at least try. Woo. I got a bit better that time, though. Bro. $500 away. 500 away. Crap. They keep railing me from behind. Oh my gosh, I fetched and did it. Medallion. Okay. Alright, this might be good. I don't know. Bro, why is it not hitting him? Oh, it did. I think. Okay, there's a chance. Ah, we're done. I did it. I think that's every sub game now. Sub game master. My gosh, another trophy. With that trophy done, I now had the hardest trophies in the game, but before I did it, I went back and got every emblem in Adventure Field, but it doesn't take too long, you kinda just find them in the hub world. After that, I beat the game with Big the Cat in E102. Their stories are both super short, so short in fact that I'm just not gonna talk about them, but I'll talk about them later. But next, I needed to get every A rank in the game, and doing so would end me off with all 130 emblems, which would also unlock me another third trophy, but that'll come later. The first character I did the A ranks with was obviously Sonic. Currently, I personally don't find them too hard. When I did them at first, I struggled a lot. They're super stressful to get, as for the A rank, you need to speedrun a level in a set amount of time. What makes this take 18 playthroughs is you need every B rank first, which you can do after you already beat the level for the first time. And all you need to do is beat a level with 50 rings. But there are 10 total Sonic levels, and the reason why I don't find them too hard now is because I learned how to abuse the spin dash spam technique, and I learned how to skip huge parts of levels which was actually intended, but I didn't know how to do them at a time, so I struggled a lot. Sonic's first two levels were painless, so I'm not going to talk about them. The first hard level was the casino. This level would average on a good 10 minutes or so to beat, as you gamble for a bunch of rings and deposit them, but I needed to beat the level in 5 minutes or less. This is where I figured out there were some levels I would clearly need a guide for, but I learned that if you just go into the first ball game and waste all your balls, it will drop you into the sewers, but while I was here I was only getting like 200 rings when you need 400. Turns out there's an alternate path that gives you lots of extra rings, but you couldn't miss a single one or the time would run out on you when you were done here. But after a dozen or so tries, I got it done. The next hard level was Twinkle Park, as the race car sections were really annoying to get through quickly, reason being because the other racers would clap you up the whole time and make you lose all your speed and ruin your whole run. The next running section wasn't too bad, as there were plenty of opportunities to skip areas. The time was super tight, so getting to the end on time wasn't easy, but again, it didn't take very long to finish. Then I had the volcano level. This is where I discovered the spin dash spam technique, and holy crap did it make you go so much faster. This level didn't take too many tries, especially since I discovered this strat. The time was again not fair at all, so it did take a few tries. The rest of the levels, since I discovered the new strat, I did them all on my first attempt. And also thanks to these levels being the most broken, with constantly giving you many moments to skip huge chunks of levels, which ended off all these Sonic A ranks. Tails' A ranks were an absolute joke. All he has to do is beat a faster version of Sonic to the finish, but because of Tails flying, you could literally beat most of the levels super quickly. So quickly that the game would actually make Sonic rubber band you because you would get too far away from him, which is actually kinda funny. Next are the Knuckles A ranks. These were pretty challenging, but I came up with a strategy that would make them super easy. For his A ranks, you would need to beat each level in under a minute, but each time you restart the level, the emerald spot stays the same. So to explore the whole level and find out the spot of each emerald, restart the level and grab them all in about 30 seconds. Funny enough though, Knuckles B ranks were actually more annoying. You wouldn't be able to use a guide to find the emerald shards, which I never used the fairy guide anyway. But the fairy would just spawn on you sometimes, making me have to restart a whole level, which was really annoying. But now we have one of the most annoying A and B ranks in the game. Next I played as Amy, and her B rank was normal, I just had to get 50 rings. The problem with Amy though is she's so slow, like come on Amy, pick it up! But you may be wondering how that makes it harder. Every level with Amy there would be a robot chasing you, but to get 50 rings, you need to go out of your way to grab them, but Amy would lose all of her very little speed and get hit. Every time this would happen at the end of a level, making me restart the whole thing. Worst part is to even go slightly fast or even jump a little high, you would need to slam the ground to go faster. And you need to do these to grab some rings, but you have very little control over what happens when you do this, so I'd usually end up getting hit. The craziest part is her A ranks were again speedrun levels, but even with Amy's speed, since you can actually get hit without it ending a run, it was actually super easy despite having a few close calls. Next was the E102 A ranks, and these were fairly simple. They had some challenge, but once I learned a basic strategy in each level, it became quite easy. With this, you need to be a level with a set amount of time left on the clock, but with him, if you kill multiple enemies at once, it throws more time onto the clock, making it much easier. And you only had 4 or so stages, so it only took about 20 minutes, and I forgot to mention that Amy also only had 3 stages, but hers still took a pretty long time to be honest. Now move on to the part of the game that's often regarded to be the hardest part of Sonic Adventure's trophy list, and that's getting every A rank with Big the Cat. Personally, I don't agree with this being the hardest part of the completion. I would say Sonic or Amy had the hardest part, but Big the Cat certainly took the longest amount of time. With Big, you need to catch a 2,000 gram fish. This can seem pretty intense, and admittedly it is, but I would say as long as you're patient with the game, it's really not that bad. I say patience because actually finding a fish big enough for the A rank can take a while. That factor alone led to Big taking about 3 to 4 hours to get all A ranks. Catching a big fish, depending on how much weight it goes above 2,000, can actually be really tough to catch. As some fish later in the game just constantly drag your lure further out, making some fish take like 8 minutes to catch. But the worst part is his A ranks are going smoothly until the ice cap zone. Reason being, this level is super buggy. You need to catch a fish on thin ice, which doesn't sound bad, but sometimes Big just doesn't want to go fishing, and sometimes when you do get a fish, the collision of the ice will glitch the fish out of the level. The saddest part of this is, for some reason, big fish just don't spawn here. I spent almost 40 minutes trying to find a fish big enough. As you can see, from the amount of weight from the fish I caught like 20 fish till I even found one big enough. Because of that, I saved this level for last. Each level had its own set of challenges, but honestly, once you do find a fish that's big enough, it was just a game of patience, and really wasn't all that bad, which led to my last A rank and another trophy. And this is where problems began. My gosh.
Not too bad.
Still missing an emblem from somewhere. The fastest and strongest. As you can see from that clip, I only had 129 of 130 emblems. I didn't know what was going on as I literally got every emblem, so I thought to myself, maybe I didn't get all the emblems in the adventure field. So I watched a video, went through and checked every emblem location, and I had them all. So I checked them all again, and I had no clue what was going on. But I knew I had all the sub-games and A-rank emblems, so there was nothing else to get. So I hit up my boy Ducktendo, as he usually helps out with the channel, so I knew I could ask him what was going on. We both searched the internet, and apparently this is a pretty common glitch where one of the adventure field emblems loads as uncollected, even after you grab it. So we both brainstormed on methods to fix the glitch, as sadly, despite it being common, there were like 2 forums on the whole thing and no one knew what to do. So I spent the next 2 hours trying many new methods that might have worked, like going to the spot where the supposed emblem that was loaded as missing would be with a new character. Discovered that some people say it doesn't load because you quit the game too fast and would need to be a new character, but since I beat the game, I remember that Supersonic story never loads as finished, so maybe that would work. After 2 hours, nothing seemed to work, and I found an Xbox forum that said this happens only in the newest version of the game. And if you try these methods to fix it and nothing happens, you'd have to completely start a new file and restart the whole game. And I want to show the forum, but these were so hard to find that I couldn't find them again. But yeah, as you can imagine, I sadly had to completely restart the whole thing. Thankfully, I had an old save file I could use, but I only had 75 emblems, which means I'd have to redo every single A rank. Thankfully, since I had a lot of practice, I knocked out all the A ranks in just about 5 hours. I won't go into detail since I already did, but I have streams of me doing them all over again in case you want to see. But after this, I also got a bonus trophy which I'm really excited to get into. And again, big thanks to Ducktendo for helping me try to fix the glitch. If you run out of time, it spawns you from like the last collectible you got. So you can kind of just quick spawn and you're done. Look at that, 26 seconds, dude. It's really not hard at all. Literally did that in 26 seconds. Where the fetch am I? Hold on. Oh yeah, I went the way wrong spot. My bad. So we gotta go. And we make it up here, right at the very top, and nothing bad happens to us. How exciting. And we can go right down to the end of the level, baby. Okay, let's try this again. Bro, what are you aiming towards, Sonic? Aim towards the fetching ceiling. Whoa! We did it. What the fetch just happened? What? Whatever, it's fine. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. Still though, cool skip. Skipped a lot of time. Exciting skip. Happy skip.
I got a fish.
Yes! Dude! Oh, we're done, dude. We're finally freaking done with this game. After like 40 hours in a fetching week, bruh. Screw this game. That was ridiculous.
Not too bad.
That was so stupid. I can't express that enough. I can't express that enough. The perfect adventurer. Oh my gosh, guys. The fetch. I want to show chat everything. Metal Sonic, by the way, that is another trophy that I just earned. 2 trophies. Watch this, chat. I want to show you guys something. I was like, you know what? Even though there's a bug, we're fixing it. 129 emblems. I had to redo it all freaking over again. I had to do this all over again, bro. All over again. Now, something that I really want to do, though, is let's go to action stage. Now, we can play with Metal Sonic, dude. Let's go! I want to play with this guy so bad. As you can see, he gets to play with every level that Sonic was in. Let's just do one. I'm going to go watch a movie with my dad, but I just want to play one level with Metal Sonic because I'm really excited to play as him for once. I've wanted to play with him so bad. This was my kind of like my dream as a kid, actually. I've always wanted to do this growing up when I was like 9. Dude, look at this. It's so sick, dude. Oh. My goodness. Metal Sonic! This is so cool, dude. I've always wanted to do this, bro. But now that I've actually done it now, my childhood dream from the very first game I have ever played on PlayStation has now been fulfilled, guys. As you heard me say, I've always wanted to do this back when I was in elementary school, but obviously it was way too hard for me to do. So yeah, redoing those A ranks was a nightmare. But for the last trophy, I needed to do yet again more A ranks. That's of course with Metal Sonic, and Fetch, dude, it was so surreal playing with him considering he isn't even in the base game. But with Metal Sonic, he just has the same levels as Sonic, but without a story. But I was so excited to play as Metal Sonic that I just played through each level without getting the A ranks again. Also, because I did all the A ranks in one sitting for the last 130 emblems, I did this right after doing so at like 2 in the morning on a school day. Either way, his A ranks were actually super easy. It's the same as Sonic's, but I played the game so much that I'm not even joking. I actually did every single A rank on my very first try. I don't know why, but I guess I just got super good at the game. I'm now feeling a little motivated to do a speedrun world record attempts, but I don't know. Anyway, because I did it all in like an hour, here's me getting the trophy. For the last trophy of the DLC, I needed to clear out all 60 missions. This game mode is super simple. You find cards around Adventure Field, it gives you a riddle, and you achieve the mission that the riddle gives you. For example, the first one, you grab this weird dude and put him in this area and boom, mission done. You may be wondering, out of all 60 missions, are they all that easy? And yeah, pretty much all of them are super easy. All except for 2. After a long grind, which thankfully was cut short due to my old account having 40 of 60 missions done, and if any of you are upset about that, give me this pass please. I already suffered through redoing pretty much the whole game due to a glitch. The last 2 that were hard was missions, I forgot the number, but the first one required me to pass a set of rings in the snowboard section of this Sonic level. You may be wondering, how is this hard? But it's hard as you need to nail 3 pixel perfect jumps on ramps to even come close to passing over the rings. To do the jump, you need to get to the edge of this platform and then jump the moment you hit the red part. Much easier said than done, by the way, but since it was short, it didn't take all that long. The last hard one was the same level but with tails. At the very end of the level, while snowboarding, you need to grab 13 flags. Keep in mind, going slow here isn't easy, and the hitboxes are extremely small. It feels almost impossible to grab them. Worst part is Sonic goes crazy fast here. So you have to slow down to even think about having a chance to grab the flags, but if you go too slow, Sonic will beat you and you have to restart the mission. To be fair, this level was super short, so it didn't take any longer than like 30 minutes, but this level still sucked. The rest of the missions were again super easy, so once these 2 were done, I got the last trophy in no time. Alright guys, this is the final one. Trophy? Why aren't you popping? And Big, what are you doing? Okay, it was not popping up. Mission all accomplished. This 100%, dude. You finished everything. I did, and including the DLC. Finished all the stories, all level A, all subgame, all Chao, all adventure field, all 130 emblems, unlocked Metal Sonic, got level A with all of the Metal Sonic levels, and cleared all 60 missions, baby. But of course, before closing off the game, on stream we had to say one last goodbye to Spencer. Goodbye, Spencer. Thank you all for watching, and yes, the game didn't have a platinum, but I had a trophy list, so it's kind of the same thing. Anyways, if you liked the video, go ahead and subscribe to see the rest of the PS3 Sonic games, and some others in the future. Go ahead and leave a like, comment, and I made a Discord, so go ahead and join in the description below. And I hope to see you all in the next video.